This podcast is a conversation by Julie Benetti and Susan Barbaro and is a production of VI Alliance, copyright 2019. And this chart-busting hit, Alone Leave Me, courtesy of New Threads, is available everywhere.
Hi, this is Susan Barbaro.
And Julie Benetti.
And, the last part of this is really about the book, what our hopes are, why we did it. I guess what's the practical aspect of the book, because we wrote the book because, as we said, that there was a need that we had. We'd done a lot of research. We looked at a lot of things. We looked at the practical side of things. We looked at more the energetic side of things. We said this throughout different parts, that we were trying to make sense of what made no sense. And, you do all of this. And I guess the part that we're sharing is we read the book. We processed the book. We put the book together. And where are our lives? This isn't about us. It's actually taking all of this and bringing it into a practical sense. We've lived through all of this as we went through each part of it. We can talk extensively because we experienced it. We experienced who I am. We went through our journey. We went into expertise. We, are still constantly, in some respects, defining expertise. Currency, that was a riot. Had a lot of fun with that one, let me tell you.
Duked it out on that one.
And, at this point, I look back over this part of the journey, and I look at a lot of people who stepped in to play roles to help us define some of this. And, we could get angry about it. We could be critical, and I've gotten to a point where I can sit back and say, you know what, I have gratitude they were there. It doesn't mean I want them back there. It doesn't mean I need to go back now and tell them, oh, thank you for what you did. But I can move on to other places knowing that they were there to help us.
And with that awareness of what we were processing and what we were doing, we took the lead in recognizing that it wasn't story, but there was something we were fleshing out. And these people were showing up, which was very cool, in different denominations and different characters. And we were taking the responsibility to own our own lives and our own progression through our lives and our own truth in our own lives, to understand what was going on and to look for the truth of what was occurring rather than just the story and to play into drama.
And sometimes it was very difficult. This is an amazing journey. And when you get through a lot of it, everything changes. But again, we say, I think in the first chapter, that you're going to reread many of these chapters. You're going to revisit the information because you're going to need to. Because now as you start working, you're going to need to go back and you're going to want to look at it again and revisit it, because it's almost like going back, and it's like being the fighter, right? You're out there and you have your trainer that you go back and he's like, all right, you're doing good. You're doing okay. Yeah, you got beaten up a little bit. You got to get back out there though. Come on, you can do it. And I think that's worth saying, because there are times that we went through it and I have to say, I'm like, what the heck? I've had it. I'm done. And I think I want to say that because nobody else says that. Everyone says, oh, it's easy. The answer's in you. And yes, that's all truth. But you're going to feel certain things and you're going to experience, and people are going to tell you you're wrong, and people are going to tell you you don't fit in, and until you finally embrace that's true, I don't fit in. Nobody fits in. No one's meant to fit in. We're all meant to be individuals. And if we're all individuals, this place becomes a beautiful place. And there's no bullying. There's no lack. And if you can embrace that you don't fit in, you understand you're a greater part of something, and that's okay. When we were talking about what do we want to say, I think that's it. You're not supposed to fit in. And all these things are people saying to you, you're supposed to fit in. Because you're supposed to be the one that we're going to, bully, or you're going to be the one that we're going to tell you this is who you are, and you're responsible for doing this, and we have expectations of you. And I'm here to tell you, you're not supposed to fit in. And that does not excuse you from having inappropriate behavior towards another person. That doesn't mean you can lash out. What that means is you don't use your energy to lash out at another person or upon yourself. You take that and you empower yourself to say, that's right. I don't fit in. I am supposed to be who I am, and I am going to embrace it.
And it's about time that there was the expression that it's okay if you don't fit in. It's not this constant struggle to fit in and change for what other people want.
So I go
and that's not your
further.
Truth.
Not only is it okay not to fit in, I'm telling you, you are not supposed to fit in. That is not for your highest and best, nor is it for the benefit of this planet or your fellow human beings.
So, with that said, I want to backpedal a little bit and get to the truth of the fact that you have to work to that truth for yourself. Okay, we're not telling you as gurus. We're not telling you because we know the way it is. We're telling you because guess what? We went through the process of this book. We could have just done it and not written a book.
Right.
We wouldn't have known anything about this. We wouldn't have shared anything. Instead, I like to write. We have great conversations together. We documented stuff. We looked at the science. We looked at all the path of what we went through. And it was the kind of thing that we wanted to read that would help us process what we were going through. And there are times I open it up and reflect on things.
At this point, the important thing is that you're not supposed to fit in. You're meant to be who you are. Get rid of all the expectations and obligations that people have thrown upon you. However, you are still responsible for what you say and what you do. This is not a calling card to say, hey, I can go and tell people off, or I can go after someone and yell at them or anything. That is, once again, you haven't done the work. But you take that energy and you use it to empower who you really are. And if everybody did that, I want to see other people empowered, strong, powerful, doing things, because there are so many people out there that can do things I can't do. I find fascinating the talents of people. And if you don't go with your talent, but you fit in, or you take what you can do and you mold it to something that is acceptable, then I think things are lost.
I think when you take what you said before and you bring that into an environment, in a space, it changes everything. It changes everything. When it's not a whole bunch of people just trying to fit in to what? It creates a whole different space of cool individuality with all the things that you stressed about, not going to the bad extreme of it, but going to the empowering extreme of it.
So understand you're a greater part of something, and we wish you well on your journey. Have fun.
Have fun.
Thank you for listening to this production from EI Alliance. Check out our Amazon authors pages for books and podcasts. Find New Threads music and their latest album on iTunes, Spotify, and newthreads.us.